Well, a fine good afternoon all. This is Patricia and I am traveling for history. I'm at the Shelburne Museum today, and this is the All Aboard the Railroad and American Art exhibit, 1840 to 1955. You all can freeze the frame and read that for yourselves. And I'm going to continue on.
Was the Donner. And so
Isn't that a gorgeous painting? Beautiful. This is by Thomas Cole, an American artist who lived from 1801 to 1848, and this is called A River in the Catskills, dated 1843. Again, feel free to pause and read that. It has a Hudson Valley feel to it. Look how dark that is. It is covered by glass, which is causing the reflection. All right. Oh, let's see. I hadn't noticed a young man before. You see the railroad bridge right here with the railroad coming across. All right.
And the train goes through.
Let's see. Over here. This painting is by George Ault, A-U-L-T, 1891-1948. And this is what's called for Brooklyn Heights, 1925. Dated 1925. And there you go.
They came out really great. Yeah.
Here we have Louise Emerson Ronnebeck, an American who lived 1901 to 1980. This is called End of Summer from 1945. You look exhausted. Sorry about the shadow. This is by Henry Sugimoto, American, 1900-1990. In 1943, he painted this, When Can We Go Home? It's more Hudson Valley-esque. I love how it's luminescent, right? Right up here. It's amazing. So let's see who painted these beautiful works of art. The one on the bottom is a Charles Louis Heidi, American, 1822-1892. This is called Steam Train in North Williston, Vermont, circa 1856. It's beautiful. Where's the train in this one? The train is right there. And then up here, this is by Albert Bierstadt, an American, 1830-1902. View of Donner Lake in California, 1871-72 is this era. And the train is up here on the right. If I may just mention Charles Heidi for a moment. He's buried in Lakeview Cemetery. And there's the Albert Bierstadt information. Now the exhibit ends October 20, which is the last day.
I'm sorry?
Well, the museum closes for the season. The last day is October 20, and that's when this exhibit comes down. This is a temporary exhibit. It goes around here. So it's chronologically oriented. Smoke in the wilderness. And you can read that if you would like. This painting is by Theodore Kaufman, an American who lived from 1814 to 1896, westward, the Star of Empire, 1867. And back a bit. That frame is gorgeous. Painting is lovely too, but that paint is just gorgeous. And I've always been amazed at how well an artist can capture luminescence. I mean, look at that. Look at that. That's amazing. We have Native Americans right here who are striving to, who have sabotaged the railroad. We can see that here. And broken railroad track right there. And you see Westward the Star of Empire by Theodore Kaufman. All right. Next painting is by Henry Farney, American, 1847-1916. It's called Morning of a New Day, painted in 1907.
Think of all coal or wood they needed to use to run those trains.
The train is over here. Another gorgeous frame. This side is about industry and urbanization. Look at this, isn't this amazing? It's by William Robinson Lee, an American who lived 1866 to 1955. The name of the painting is The Attempt to Fire the Pennsylvania Railroad Roundhouse in Pittsburgh at daybreak on Sunday, July 22, 1877. Which was painted in 1895. Oh, and you can read that at your leisure. It's magnificent. Man. Okay, so the one painting is by Carl Frederick Gartner, an American who lived 1898 to 1952. The name of the painting is Swamp Spur from 1944. And the top painting is by Thomas Hart Benton, an American who lived 1889 to 1975. The title is New Mexico Landscape, 1926. All right. I don't know about you, but I love a caboose. Don't see those much anymore. And this is the New Mexico one. Landscape. Lovely. And we can see there's an engineer. Let's see who that is. Definitely appears to be a man. I think he's a railroad worker, though. All right, so this is Otto Kuhler, American, 1977. The title of the painting is Work Train and Wagon Mount. The date is unknown. And there we go. Isn't that about you, but I'm so tempted. I've been working on the railroad all the live long day, right?
Oh, that's the one?
That's your torture for the day. For me.
At the very bottom of that painting is West 4th Street, Greenwich Village.
And that's where the gardens are. She was just saying that that's all gardens along there now?
The old elevated train tracks?
No, that's the High Line that you're
Yes.
thinking of. That's way, way west.
It is on the west side. This is on the east side?
This is the west side, but this is 6th Avenue. You know, it's kind of like right in the middle, right?
Well,
You're talking about the like 10th, 11th Avenue. Is
Well,
where
it
the
runs
High Line is.
There you go.
I understand. This is the elevated AC.
All right, let's come over here.
They're underground.
And
West 4th Street is big.
it's an intriguing one. What is this? This is by Harry Gottlieb, an American, 1895 to 1992, called Dixie Cups from 1936-37. I'll just go ahead and read you this. Harry Gottlieb's Dixie Cups, painted in the darkest days of the Great Depression, is a stark representation of the monumental glowing red rail cars used in the production of steel steaming in the cold air. Belying their innocent-sounding nickname, these Dixie Cups contained slag, a byproduct of the steel industry, and transported the red-hot waste from blast furnaces in cities like Cleveland, Detroit, and Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, to immense dumps. Massive conical vessels designed to withstand the harshest of conditions. These specialized rail cars shared little in common with the ephemeral paper cups that sprang up in public washrooms as part of a public health effort aimed at curbing the 1918 influenza epidemic. How fascinating is that? And then there's this one by Aaron Borod, American, 1907 and 1992, called Slag Heaps, 1938. And feel free to go ahead and read that.
That's great.
Fascinating, right?
Yes. Really wonderful story they put together.
I'm glad we made it before it left.
Yes, that's right. Just squeaked in there.
Remember.
Okay, so the bottom painting is by Harry Leith Ross, an American who lived 1886 to 1973. The title is Tenant's House and Tracks, circa late 1930s. Wow.
Me too.
I love the man right there who was walking the railroad.
Irish Christian brothers.
Yeah, looks like he's going to be working on the railroad.
Not so Christian, but they were
And the top painting is Ernest Lawson, an American, 1873-1939. Washington Bridge, Harlem River, circa 1915. And feel free to read that one too.
With the yellow?
And that's the painting.
Yes.
John Sloan, American, 1871-1951. The City from Greenwich Village, 1922. There is glass on the painting. There you go. It's very dark. And this is the train though, right here. And the front tracks train. Leon Kroll, American, 1884-1974. Terminal Yards, 1912-1913. This is the bottom painting. It's very large. There we go. And the top one is by Ernest Lawson, an American who lived 1873 to 1939, called Excavation, Penn Station, circa 1906. Wow.
Well, we don't do coal either as much.
Right.
That's so interesting.
I did notice yesterday at when I was
Looking at the
Luigi.
steam coming out of this locomotive right there reminds me of how cold I have felt the last few days here in Vermont. It's been pretty cold. It's down. I think it went down to 31 degrees Fahrenheit overnight. Up next, bottom one is by Otto Cooler, American, 1894-1977. Steel Valley, Pittsburgh, circa 1925. Which is the bottom picture here. Painting. Picture, painting. You know what I'm talking about. And then the top one is by Colin Campbell Cooper. It's kind of fun to say the 3 C's. An American who lived 1856 to 1937. Name it is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It was circa 1905. Up next, we have is by John Sloan, an American, 1871-1951. Title is 6 O'Clock Winter, 1912.
Yes.
I'm sorry, you said you needed a
This is by
Lady Grand Central.
John Marin, American, 1872-1953. Grain Elevators. Title circa 1910 to 1915.
Now the Hudson River line or whatever it is. We don't have time, that's probably right where that is.
And the top one is by George O'Keeffe, American, 1887-1986. Train coming in. Kansas, Canyon, Texas, 1916. All right, so this one is by Edward Hopper, American, 1882-1967, called Approaching a City for 1946. So sorry, I can't really do anything about that shadow. But look at that. Isn't that amazing? All right, this next one's by Joe Jones, American, 09-63, 1909-1963, All the Livelong Day, 1939. You see how it feel like that, don't you now? Wow. The amount of work those men did. Wow, it's insane. Wow. The next section is about the Lonely Rail. Feel free to pause that. Not sure how readable that is. It's hard to tell on my camera. And this painting here is intriguing. It's Charles T. Bowling, American, lived 1891 to 1985, Church at the Crossroads, from 1936, from a private collection. Not abundantly surprised that a church would be that close to the railroad tracks, but Makes me wonder if the tracks came later than the church, though. That's my best guess. But certainly China. This next one is by Reginald Marsh, American, 1898 to 1954. Gathering the Mail, which came out in 1934. I've seen YouTube videos on people doing this. The train is moving, folks. The train is moving. So he is dropping off mail and picking it up, grabbing it with those kind of tongs, if you will. If you know what they're actually called, please let me know in the comments below. Up next, the bottom painting. It's by Palmer C. Hayden, American, 1890 to 1973. His Hammer in His Hand, from the Ballad of John Henry, part of a series from 1944 to 47. And that's this one right here. The upper one, Jacob Lawrence, American, 1917 to 2000. Subway, Home from Work. In the evening, the mother and father come home from work, from 1943. And that's this one up here. Philip Evergood, American, 1901-1973. Wheels of Victory, circa 1944. Oil on panel. And this is the painting itself. I love how vibrant the men are in the front compared to the blackness of the locomotive. Fascinating. And now, passengers all. So, I think you should be able to read that. This next one is by Thomas Hart Benton, American, from 1889 to 1975, titled Engineer's Dream, painted in 1931. I think more like a nightmare rather than a dream. Holy cow. Up next is by Alan Rohan Crete, American, 1910 to 2007. The Car Stop, from 1940. Edmund Charles Tarbell, American, 1862-1934. In the Station Waiting Room, Boston, circa 1915. Seems. I'm just wondering. Oh yeah, French, yes. He was influenced by a bunch of things, including the French Impressionism. I was thinking it's sort of reminiscent of Degas and painters like that, Impressionists. Up next is by Samuel Johnson Wolfe, American, 1880-1948, The Underworld, circa 1909 to 1910. Let's come back here and film these guys over here. This one is by William Charles Libby, American, 1919-1982, called Lanterns. Came out in 1945. Or he painted it earlier in 1945. This one here is by Kay Sage, American, 1898 to 1963. Unusual Thursday, dated 1951. And Kay Sage, by the way, is a woman. It's says surrealism. Fun fact, the photograph of this painting in the catalog is reversed. I'll show you the catalog in just a few minutes. This one is by Charles Goller, American, 1901-1955, called Factory Yard, circa 1938. And note, this is reversed. See, the bridge is on the right in the painting, and in the photograph, it's on the left. Oopsie. And that's the name of the catalog, in case you're interested. All Aboard, the Railroad in American Art, 1840 to 1955. All right, I filmed those already. This is a great exhibit. If you can come here, do so. And you know, if you live in Vermont, you can, and you have a library card, you can go to your library and get a copy of not a copy, you can get the Shelburne Museum pass and come here for half price. I paid $7.50 to come in today. So, yay. Alrighty, well, this is Patricia. I am traveling for history. Until I see you again, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Bye now.